Yes, it is the time where I am actually having my guests now. Oh my gosh, yeah, we've been trying to put everything together, and I think we got it here. And yes. So joining me this morning, Central African time, and this evening, Mountain Standard Time, and this afternoon where he is he's in Indonesia. Yo guys, it's in the afternoon. It is actually 1 p.m. and so joining me right now is Jonas Tole. Hello, can you hear me, bruh? Oh man, okay, let me try and reduce the volume here. I still cannot hear you. Just hold on. Okay, can you try and speak now? Oh man, I still cannot hear you. Okay, so I think I have a plan B. Actually, we have a plan B. Come on now, I am going to get back to my music and then I will give you the hint behind the scenes. Come on now.
My mother tongue goes deep, baby. I can show you so much more than the places you've been before. I'm glad you came. My mother tongue goes deep, everywhere I go, it's one language I know. No matter where I walk, my mother tongue follows. Everywhere I go, it's one language I know. My mother tongue goes deep, The drums of thunder and creation. Yeah, that's the sounds of my nation. The rhythm moves our generation. Shikapano timbo tamba. Chukwadi chandi no tauda. Kuchango pebza wajaida. I really wanna know. It's more than a place I come from. It's all I am and then some. Baby, won't you come my way? Come take a chance on me. I'm glad you came. My mother tongue goes deep. My mother tongue goes deep, baby. I can show you so much more than the places you've been before. I'm glad you came. My mother tongue goes deep. Everywhere I go, it's one language I know. No matter where I walk, my mother tongue follows. Everywhere I go, it's one language I know. My mother tongue goes deep.
Listen to the music, relax, and have fun.
Get ready.
My name is Kenny G, all the way in Ontario, and you're listening to your favorite Zimbabwean diaspora music with your girl ThandoAmy on your favorite radio station, After 5 Radio.
This is After 5 Radio.
Hello, my name is Shinge Pandera, all the way in the UK, and you're listening to your favorite Zimbabwean diaspora music with your girl ThandoAmy on your favorite radio station, After 5 Radio. Enjoy.
www.after5radio.net.
Hey. This is Ruba all the way from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and you're listening to After 5 Radio with your girl ThandoAmy.
This is After 5 Radio.
What's going on, everyone? This is Guy from YYC.
Can you hear me now?
To ThandoAmy on After 5 Radio.
Cool.
This is After 5 Radio. For the best music by Zimbabweans in the diaspora.
Yes. Finally, we're here. Finally, I'm getting excited. Hey, Jonah!
What up, ThandoAmy?
How are you, bro? How are you?
I'm good. I'm excellent.
Oh, thank you
Good.
so much for joining. And sorry for the technical difficulties. Technology is quite interesting, right?
Nah, it's all good. It's all, technology is always growing.
Right?
And expanding.
And
Yeah,
improving,
it always
I guess.
changes. Yeah, and improving as well. It's always changing. So I totally understand.
Right. Awesome. So let me just do an introduction of who you are, and then we can take it from there. Right, for those who are actually joining us right now, my name is Amanda ThandoAmy, and thank you so much for joining us on After 5 Radio. And today I have an amazing, talented guest who's joining us, and we're going to learn more of what he's been up to and all that jazz. And you probably know him. He was the CBC Air Academy star back in, was it 2009?
Yeah, it was 2006.
2006. Yo, yeah, 2006. Jeez. Yeah, that's a long time ago, dude.
Yeah, that was a very long time ago.
Right, but then that doesn't change that you're actually still our star and you're still so talented, and we truly appreciate your voice in the music industry.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You are so welcome. So, tell us, who is Jonah? That's always my first question. Tell us, who is Jonah in a nutshell before we get into Bloodlyne.
All right, well, Jonah is... Wow, I've never really been asked that question. Okay.
Exactly. I ask the hard questions.
No problem. Well,
I'm kidding.
Jonah is a father.
Okay.
A child of God. A seeker. A seeker of knowledge, wisdom, grace, and discernment. A friend. Loyal. And a musician as well. A husband. And a brother of 3 sisters.
And another sister from another mother.
Yeah. A brother of 3 sisters and an older brother as well. So yeah, in a nutshell, yeah, goofy, fun, energetic, charismatic, charming. At least I think I'm charming.
Remember when you sent me the picture? I was like, yeah, I need a picture for your post. I was like, hey, my guy, hey, you need to actually say yeah, husband, please, because hey, that picture looks so charming. Like, yo. I'm just going to say it, I'll put it out there. Well, you're my brother, man. It's like I can say whatever I want. Sorry, I'll go.
That's all right. No problem.
No, that is so
No
awesome
problem.
to know just like who Jonah is in a nutshell. And so tell us your excitement when you started music. Actually not when you started music, when you actually got to win the Air Academy competitions.
Yeah, you know what? Before Air Academy happened, I was already doing music. It was something that I always loved. I think I started, I really started taking it extremely seriously when I was about 14. So that was 3 years before Air Academy happened.
Right. Oh.
And
okay.
What happened was I got linked up with this group back in the day, this gospel R&B group that was on the rise by the name of Excel.
Ooh, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
the guy who kind of orchestrated that movement, who helped me link up with one of the guys, his name was John Jazz. His name is John Jazz. He's now based in Johannesburg. But he
Okay.
goes by a different name now, by the name of John Dillinger. But
Okay.
I was linked to him through some friends, through Pastor G. Pastor G and also linked me to this guy named David Sengwayo of this hip hop group at the time that was also on the rise by the name of Move It Family. The Move It group, yeah.
Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
And so you being
yeah.
that young, how was, as in discovering that you love music, your passion for music, how was the support system then? You know how it is back home. It is more of education. You have to be a lawyer, doctor, and entertainment is at the very bottom of the list. So how was the support system, considering that you were still in high school when you started getting into these groups and singing?
Yeah, it's, wait, repeat that. Are you asking my parents? Are you referring to my parents?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So my parents saw the potential, but they probably thought, I'm assuming they probably figured it was just like a hobby at the time because they didn't really see where it was going at that stage. Because I was still young, I'm a junior in high school, so education was definitely the forefront. And my mom would always say, invest your time in your studies the way you invest in your music, Jonah, okay? My mom will always say that. Yeah, and she still says that till now. Like the way you follow your music and passion, do that with your education.
Of course.
Always.
It never ends.
You know? Yeah, it never. But she was right though, because you wanna always make sure you have multiple sources of income.
Of course.
I mean, music is the first passion, but always have something that music can live off of, and that you can always help your music to live off of as well financially.
Right.
Even if you don't need it. Yeah, even if you don't need it, most musicians, when they make it, and they start doing really well, they always open another business that's separate from their music. So I guess that's what my mother was trying to teach me at the time. Didn't really understand it at that point because I was still a kid. But now as I'm older, I completely understand what she meant.
And also being a father now too, right? You're now.
Yeah, being a father now, you really have to hustle, and you really have to understand like music, the music business is like a rough business. So if you're not strong minded, especially strong minded, if you don't have a strong mind, if you don't have the will or the passion, to drive through the bad days, specifically the bad days, because the good days are great.
Of
Money
course.
comes in, everybody's, you're traveling, you're performing, awesome. But when that's not happening, and there's like a void and a standstill, that's where you really, really need to be strong, mentally. You need that, and for me, God definitely keeps me strong in that sense. He protects. Yeah, he really does a way of protecting my mind and nurturing me and filling me with his love and his grace.
Right.
And he keeps my mind busy as well. And just having family around also helps with encouragement.
Right.
And so on.
Ooh, that is so amazing. That is so amazing. So when did you discover? I know you started at a young age being in musical groups and stuff like that. But when did you discover that music was your path, was the path that you wanted to take more than anything?
For me, like I said, I started really early. I discovered that I could. When I discovered I could sing was when I was at Louisam Primary School in Harare. That was in 2001.
Okay.
I was just singing. I used to just sing to myself very quietly because I was shy, and then I'll start singing louder and louder as time passed.
My guy, we grew up together. You were not shy.
If they caught an ear. Yeah, no, trust me, I was shy. Trust me, because I was testing the water, so I'll sing very quietly, and then I'd raise the volume a bit, and if it caught someone's ear and it sounded nice, then I knew, okay, I'm on the right path. And it did. It came to the point where girls at school would start asking me, Jonah, can you come and sing for us, please? At that time, Backstreet Boys was the stuff. So, Backstreet Boys was the it thing at our age, during our time growing up. So the girls wanted me to sing the Backstreet Boys Black and Blue album.
Ooh.
Back to back shot.
Yes, yes.
I was just like, hey, I'm already their personal radio now. Okay, cool. Let's do it. But that gave me confidence. That really gave me confidence. But,
Right.
What the tipping point for me was when I was at Celebration Center. They had this thing. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called The Movement. I forgot the name. And it was hosted by this guy called Bla T Muchemwa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So they would host this youth festival. And I auditioned for that youth festival with two other people by the name of Tsungi and Tinti. Okay. So the three of us auditioned, we got in, and I remember walking all the way from my house from Newlands to Celebration Center, praying and just being in the zone and just prepping my mind, asking God, like, God, if I do well tonight, then I know this is for me. I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And I remember us performing. I forgot the name of the song that we did. And it was, the beat was actually made by Simba Tags.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Tag started a long time ago. Humble beginnings for all of us. I was there when Tag when his studio was still in the kitchen. So
wow. And you gotta start from somewhere, man.
Yeah, you gotta start from somewhere. So long story short, we get on stage, we're performing, the people are digging it, they love it, and I could really feel their energy, and I really just felt that anointing on me, and I was like, you know what? Right after that, I was like, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. This is what I want to do. And I never stopped and I never looked back.
Jeez, look at you. And then going on to win the Air Academy musical concert, like competition.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so
In
express
2000.
your excitement and feeling after being told you're the winner. Actually considering that, maybe let's start from the top 3, right? What were you thinking? Okay, if I win this, and then what? What were your thoughts up until the point where you're told you're the winner?
You know what? I was like, you know what? I'm just happy that I made it this far. Win or lose, I'm just happy I made it this far. But if I am to win, that will just tell me that I was definitely born for this. This is not something I was experimenting with. This is truly a gift. And I remember all of us standing at that line, and Gary Thompson's moving around, playing mind games with us before he announced the winner. You know, and I'm thinking, and you know, we were all thinking that Eric was gonna win. We all literally thought that Eric was gonna win.
Eric was good. Eric was good.
He was extremely good.
Yeah.
You know, he's extremely good. You know, he's an amazing vocalist. And, you know, we used to hear, because when we were in the house, Eric would sing, you know, and he would just light up the house. You know, he just had that voice. He just had that voice. Because he liked doing that in the morning. That was his vocal warm-up session. Me, I would jog around the house, you know, and sing. So you're not going to hear much pleasantries from that. And I remember some kiddies used to get mad.
Right. Yeah.
And I was jogging around the house singing because I was making noise for them. Because I'll do this at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Every day.
Yeah.
Without fail. So, yeah, so we all thought Eric was going to win. And then I remember, you know, Gary Thompson looking at Sam K and was like, Sam Kiliso, you are standing next to the first CBZ A Academy winner or something like that. And I was just shocked. It's not Eric? You know, that was still going through my mind, like, wait a minute. It's not Eric? So, you know, there was this thing, like, people thought, oh, maybe Jodo's being arrogant. Yeah, what? His reaction didn't show. I was like, yeah, because I was in shock, you guys. I thought Eric was the one who won.
Right.
You know, I was so happy, yo. I couldn't believe it. You know, my life changed after that. Completely changed after that.
Oh, yeah, I remember, because everything started happening real fast for you. Like in terms of music, in terms of collaborations, a whole lot. We're like, okay, Joda, hello, don't forget us, hello.
Yeah, the world was moving extremely fast. You know, like I literally had to change my phone because my phone wouldn't stop ringing.
I can imagine.
It wouldn't stop ringing. And it was mostly from the press and sometimes just from random people.
Of course.
Somehow got my phone number.
Oh.
And I would get weird phone calls at 3 a.m. in the morning. People were like, can I be your friend? Like that creepy. Like, is this Jonah? And I'm like, yeah, who's this? I just want to know if I can be your friend. Yo, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. It's like, and this will go on for days, guys. Like to the point where you're now frustrated. You're like, yo, you need to stop calling me at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
Like, call me during the day, Sha. Like, call me during the day.
Actually, people called to ask for friendship?
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, you know, and you know, I thank God that I got to experience that at a young age. I understood how the price that comes with fame. People don't see you the same anymore.
Of course.
You know, you'll find people, those who will adore you, love you, those who will respect you, those who will hate you, simply hate you just because of your new position. And then there'll be those who are trying to figure you out, like, are you really who we see you as, or are you just one of those people who, you know, who's a snob or whatever, you know? So it was, you know, there was a lot of things that you had to digest in that moment. Like, everybody's going to have an opinion of you, and you have to find a sweet spot in your mind where you block out all the negativity and embrace the positivity without becoming arrogant.
Right. Of course. Humility is key in this industry.
Yes, humility is key. Exactly. That is correct. Yeah.
And so after winning the singing competition, right? You had to come up with you had an album, a debut album called Diversity, which was produced by Gary Thompson. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And CBZ Academy also helped the production as well.
Helped the production.
Yeah. Gary Thompson he was like a executive producer. But you know, the whole composition in itself was done by Andrew Beard and David Sengwayo.
Oh, okay. And so the album being called Diversity, from my understanding, critics, right, say it failed to live up to the hype of your winning and all that jazz, right? And
yeah.
So how, with Gary still supporting you, still pleading with the media to say, to give you a chance, how did it make you feel as a young man to say, okay, in terms of motivation, purpose, passion, did it dim your light in a way? Because you're young, right? And remember, when you're young, what comes into your ear kind of sticks, right? How did you get to deal with that?
You know what? Funny enough, surprisingly, I wasn't demotivated. I was more motivated, actually. I was like, you know what? I'll show them.
Okay.
That's what was coming to my mind, at the time. Because I wanted to show people that I'm not just one-trick pony with that album. I wanted to show them that I'm capable of a lot of things. So that's why I did the album in that way. Because I wanted to show them, like, look, you're looking at someone who is capable of crossing over, not just locally, but internationally. And I think at the time, because you need to remember the space and time that this was going on in Zimbabwe, people were not making music like I was doing.
Okay.
A lot of people were not doing that.
Okay.
Yes, there were those who were doing it, but they weren't getting the light of day because it was not, let's say, exactly local in the sense. They were not singing in Shona or in Ndebele and so on. So they weren't really getting a lot of airplay in that sense. But a lot, I can't really. It's been a long time, so I can't. So don't quote me on that like 100% because I might be wrong. But I do remember that time specifically. The minister at the time, Jonathan Moyo, had made local. I think it was 70 or 80% local content, and then just a little bit of that percentage.
No, actually, it was 100%.
Was international.
Nah,
it was 100% local, right?
Yeah, okay. Because Ndopaka
Zobulana,
Rocky, Chamembe, Kutiro, and all that. Yeah,
exactly. And it was a great era because it taught Zimbabweans to experiment with their passions, with what they love doing. Right. And it brought in a movement of people like Ana Rocky, Mafrik, XQ,
Kutiro, the Kutiro tribe.
Yeah, Kutiro, Judah E. Yeah. So many others that I'm forgetting to mention in my head at the moment. It ushered in so many talented artists, like Sidis Wanyika, like Sidis
Betty
Sani Makalima, Betty Makaya, so many great artists. And you know what was insane about it? TBA Tech 5 at the time was mostly doing almost all their productions because I had been to that studio. My older sister Mabel, my older sister Mabel was the one who kind of ushered me into that world, and she introduced me to all these guys. And I got to see on a few occasions how these guys worked, and Rocky and all. Because I knew Rocky when I was still a kid. Before Rocky blew up, I already knew him. Before A Academy, I already knew who Rocky was. And Rocky at the time, I think, was still growing. And I think it was around the time where Seiko, that song. When that song came out, Rocky. I remember when Rocky did that song. I already knew Rocky before that track came out. I already heard that song before that track came out. Wow. So I was around this movement. I saw it grow. I saw that era.
Right.
I look at the urban grooves era, as they call it. Of course, Sani Makalima doesn't want to call it urban grooves, but whatever.
Sunny, dude, it is urban grooves. But urban grooves, it's actually a genre yakato create for Zimbabweans, right? That's a genre that we didn't even at least adopt from other cultures.
It was a genre for Zimbabwe. You know what? I look at that era as the era similar to the neo soul era with the Erykah Badu's, and Music Soul Child. It was the same era for me, because when I look back now, at the time I didn't notice it, but as I look back now, I felt like it was the same type of era,
right? With
the music, and it was for Zimbabweans, and it was something that Zimbabweans could be proud of because it was amazing music,
right?
They were making such, and it was original and it was unique,
right?
And people loved it, and I loved it too.
Oh, and I loved it too up until now, yo. I'm actually proud to say kuti ndakakura in an era urban grooves, to be honest, right? Because like now, okay, there's Zim Dancehall, but Zim Dancehall, I feel like it's not quite original because there's an adaptation of the Jamaican type machuni and stuff like that versus urban grooves. That was like original beats.
Yeah, that's true. But in defense of Zim Dancehall, nothing really is new under the sun, to be honest. So, everything comes from somewhere. Everyone, and then it turns into something, like it turns into a new genre or whatever,
Right.
A lot of these sounds. Yeah, like if you listen to rumba music, you know, there's a lot of rumba. If you listen to South American music, like from Colombia,
Right.
Brazil, Cuba, a lot of that Congolese sound, you hear it in their music as well. So
Right.
nothing is really new nothing really is new on this. Even the style of guitar playing, you know, they all use similar guitar licks. You know, maybe they might tweak up a few things.
Right.
You know, everything comes from somewhere.
Right.
You know, so I feel like it's cultures in different places, you know, taking bits and pieces from each other and then turning it into their own thing. Like Sungura music, Chimurenga music, you know, like a lot of the guitar licks that you hear, a lot of them come from the pentatonic scale, which is the blues scale. Not everything, but a lot of it comes from that scale. So, you know, you listen to this stuff, you know, because before I could play, you know, these sounds, you know, when I was learning how to play, I would try and figure out, like, wow, how are they doing this? Like, and then when I started learning how to play guitar, I realized, oh, okay, so it comes from, you know, a lot of their notes come from this specific scale. You know? Yeah, so you know, everybody takes a bit from each other. You know, I'm not really sure where Sungura really originated from. Some say it came from Tanzania or whatnot. I don't really know. But I think it's really original to Zimbabweans because Tanzanians love, as I was growing up, I knew, I would read in articles that Sungura is very popular in Tanzania.
Hey.
You know, so you never really know. Yeah, it's quite popular.
But with the way Sungura is so long, my guy. It's pretty much.
It can go, 10 minutes, 6 to 10 minutes sometimes. Hey, but music back in the day didn't really have a timestamp. It's only when radio, you know, became like the staple go-to area to listen to music, then people started cutting their songs, you know, from 6 minutes to 3 minutes, 24 seconds, 3 minutes, 30 seconds or less, because they wanted to make sure that their whole song would play instead of being dubbed over for a commercial or the next track that's coming in. So that's kind of like what ushered songs to become shorter. But before that, like in the 60s and the 70s, and I think maybe a short part of the 80s, songs were extremely long. They would go for like 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just depending on what the artist wanted.
Oh, wow.
You know, so yeah.
That's quite interesting to learn, man, in terms of music. But anyway, we're going to take a short break here, and then we will get into the new transformed Jonah with the song Mother Tongue. My guy, I have questions on this song. But you know what? No, we'll come back, but let's just let the listeners listen to the song carefully before they listen to my questions and your answers as well. We'll be right back. Right, we are back. Okay, guys, well, you're listening to this song, so this is the song by Jonah, aka now transformed to Bloodlyne. Yo, my guy, let me confess something here. Are you still here?
All right.
Okay,
I wonder what it is.
I wonder what it is. Okay, so I remember when I started working here on After 5 Radio, I listened to the song. I'm a sucker for beats, yo. I'm a sucker for good beats. So I started listening to this song. But man, Bloodlyne and then Mother Tongue. I'm thinking, is the song Bloodlyne? But then Mother Tongue? Like, what's going on? Yo. I'm like, what's going on? Until I had to do research, right? I went on Instagram, and even my little sister was like, oh my gosh, this song is dope. I was like, obviously, that's why I was playing it, because it's dope, right? But then only to find out, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm not surprised. I am not surprised because it's you, right? So do you want to tell us this whole transformation? Like, what happened? What happened? What turned Jonah Sithole into actually giving yourself the name Bloodlyne?
All right, so
yes,
it started from when I left Zimbabwe to go to Malaysia, to study in Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was at a university. I was studying sound and music. You know, basically audio engineering. You know, so I wanted to learn how to mix that, my own art.
Okay.
So while I was there, I was in a university surrounded by people from all different types of nations, nationalities, different languages, you know, and, you know, just being around that kind of environment, you know, you get to see who you really are. You get to you start to discover yourself. You know, and also being around people who knew who they were, who understood who they were. You know, and prior to this, I was living in Ethiopia. We were living together in Ethiopia when I was in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, prior to this, in the 90s, when I was a kid, my parents were diplomats in Ethiopia for about 5 years.
Okay.
So I was in a similar environment. I was in a room with kids. Of course, in a room with kids. I was a kid myself. Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay, so
but then
so,
I get
you know,
to
me
Tara
being-
na Baba Pano, so I don't know.
You funny. Okay, so I'm in there.
Yeah.
You know, and I was surrounded by, you know, with the kids my age, you know, we were like, there were people from Lesotho, South Africa, Mozambique, all the way to, now we're talking all the way to South Korea, Japan, Sweden, Holland, Germany, Italy, USA, Brazil, you name it. Yeah, it was like that when I was studying at the in Addis Ababa at ICS. You know, and then when I went to Malaysia, it was a similar experience at the university I was in. But now there was more people mostly from the Middle East, other parts of Southeast Asia like Vietnam, Myanmar, Hong Kong, China, Japan as well, South Korea, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. Hey, did I say that right? I think I said that wrong. Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Russia, Australia, you know, and, you know, people from Finland, Sweden, Denmark, you know, UK, France, you know, Brazil, you know, Barbados. Oh, wait, not Barbados, my bad. I forgot the name of the country. My bad. Okay, well, yeah, like, so basically what I'm trying to say is I was surrounded by people from all over the world.
Right.
Literally from all over the world. And it was just amazing being around people like that, because you would find people who were not proud of their culture and where they were from, and you would find people who embraced their identity 100%. Right. And then you'd find people who were kind of in the middle, who were kind of were a little confused, but you know, weren't really sure. And I was amongst those who were kind of like in the middle. I understood who I was, but I don't think I'd fully embraced it yet.
Okay, and even just considering the whole idea, Yakuti, the first album, you actually got into learning diversity really at a young age, because not a lot of people actually are inclusive like that.
That's true.
Wow, that's amazing,
correct.
impressive, yeah?
Yeah, you know, because being given my background, I was exposed to so many different, you know, different elements, different cultures, different religions, and so on and so forth. So my mind was not wired the same as, you know, as those who were probably just raised in a certain type of way.
Right.
I was exposed to so much, so I was trying to find ways to express that.
Right.
Without it being too much for people to embrace. So I think maybe that's why...
Yakuti, too much. Can I pause you right there, please? Abana chini kuno you too much. Van vakasara. I am just gonna say it right. This is tough love giggles, guys. Tough love. Me, I'm gonna tell you, there ain't there's nothing called being too much. And at the same time, I think I hear other people saying, oh yeah, I don't want to be overdressed. Once you're overdressed, they're underdressed. There's nothing called too much. It's you being yourself. It's you standing out and being different, because we're not called to be the same, because everybody else is taken. So who is Jonna as an individual, right?
That's correct.
Right.
That was me.
That's you.
What you got in diversity was me in a nutshell. My mind is full of many ideas.
Nice.
And I wanted to express them in that sense. And that album came out back in 2007.
Right.
So now moving forward, being around all these people, when I left Malaysia and I came back to Zim, I started, you know, I really started soul searching. You know, I was trying to figure myself out and trying to understand who I was and what my next move was going to be music-wise. You know, and during that time, and then from there I moved. I then ended up moving to Indonesia. You know, and because my wife and I were now married, and I moved to Indonesia back in 2015. So at that time I was really soul searching, just trying to figure out what was my purpose. Where am I going? And I would ask God, what is my purpose? Where am I going with this? I love making R&B music. I love doing all types of stuff, but I need something that sticks, that makes sense. And it took some time. It took some time to really understand to understand it and to really walk into that path, because I was battling a lot of demons as well in my life, in my personal life, you know, that I needed to get to clean up first before I finally walked into this, into Bloodlyne 100%. So in that happening, I was doing a lot of different types of music, working with all types of people, all the way from Japan to Dominican Republic, doing features, you know, getting our songs streaming over, doing over 1 million streams on each record, each track. Yeah, you know, and you know, it was a great time as well. This was around 2016, 2017. And then I met a guy by the name of Dan Bravo. Now, Dan Bravo is based in Norway.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, and I was on holiday in Zim at the time. I'd gone back to Zim for the holiday. My wife messaged me. He's like, yo, are you free? You know, can we make some music? I'm like, who's this guy? And I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe he found me from one of the songs I just did from this other guy, from this Grammy-nominated producer by the name of Starro.
Right, yeah,
So
I remember we spoke about that,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was a song called I Wish, and that song was popping. We hit #1 on iTunes. We were #1 on the iTunes charts in Japan at the time.
Look at
you know,
you.
it was doing so well. The song was doing so well. The song is called I Wish, if you ever want to look for it.
Okay, I would definitely.
At the time, my name was
look for it.
Jonah for Life. At the time, I changed my name to Jonah for Life. So you see, it was a journey. It was from Jonah to Jonah for Life, and now we were transitioning to Bloodlyne. So when I met Dan, we started doing songs together. We did like 3, 4, 5 singles, and then he was like, look, I'm going to shop around. I don't want to just drop these tracks because I believe in you and I think you have a great talent. And I want to get someone who can manage you correctly to reach the next level in your career. I don't think I have the capacity to do that. I would love to, but I don't think I have the necessary tools to do that. But I'm going to find someone for you.
Look at
Now you
people
can
being
imagine-
honest like that.
Yeah, like this guy, I've never met this guy in person.
Wow.
But he's willing to take on that responsibility to help me succeed. You know, and this is where the saying goes, like, you know, treat people as you want to be treated.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, so you know, he starts shopping around. You know, we got a lot of no's, and you know, he was shopping around to labels and all, and they were listening to something like, oh, but we don't get it. Like, yeah, this is dope. We'll get back to you. You know, and those are one of the things I remember him telling us. Like, one of the labels, were like, they said, we don't get it. Like, yeah, we hear it, but we don't get it. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? I was like, what the heck does that mean, Dan? And he was like, I don't know. It's like, okay, you know, it's cool. It's like, don't worry, I'm gonna keep looking around.
Yeah.
And then we found it. And he was the only one who responded back to us. He was on tour at the time with what's her name? Taylor Swift.
Right.
One of her road management type.
Oh, look at you. My levels.
So his name is Nathan Wing.
Okay.
So we started, you know, we started getting on call together. We started talking, you know, and they started telling me about himself. You know, and we go online and we're trying to look up this guy and we couldn't find anything. And we're trying to, like, is this guy legit, man? Like, you know, me and Dan.
People are being skeptical. People, just go for it and see it for yourselves, man.
Yeah. And I think Nathan also kind of got that vibe as well, because I had rejected it the first time because I felt like I didn't know much.
Okay.
And I remember Dan sending them an email, like telling them, like, yo, like, this guy really wants to sign with you, but you know, he's been ripped off before, you know, through bad, you know, collaborations with people. He just wants to know that you guys are who you say you are. So then I remember calling them, and I remember my dad. I'll never forget this. My dad was like, Jonah, take a risk, sign a contract with these guys. You don't know where it's gonna take you. Do it.
Apa inshona nzichi auziye chakakodza nguru waigera.
Yeah, I take it. I don't know that thing, but now I do.
Now you do, right? In Indian, I'm not so good in Dipshona, but iyo yondo inzwisiso wangu waigera.
Shona is a beautiful language.
It is a beautiful language. It is.
It's just really, you know, the deeper you go, the harder it is to learn. But
There you go.
I think every Zimbabwean should learn to speak Deep Shona at least to some degree. I've tried.
The mother tongue. Mother tongue, Kaya.
Hey, we have to go down to mother tongue. I have to learn how to speak Chindao, because that's my mother tongue.
All right.
The Shona dialect. Because Ndau is mixed with Zulu, Shona, and I think another Mozambican language. I forgot what the language is.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a mixture. But anyway, yeah. So now we're with Nathan. We're working. You know, when I signed the contract with them, I signed a partnership deal with them, and then we get to work. It took us 3 years to get to work, They were shopping for labels. They were giving me songs. They were giving me tons of songs written by other artists, and they were giving me songs like, we want you to record this, man. We want you to record on all these tracks, send them back to us, and we'll start shopping. Because they were trying to see where I fit in the market, what songs worked best with me, what songs didn't work for me. We were in this process of learning and creating a relationship, understanding one another, understanding our inspirations. They would ask me a ton of questions, asking me who I was, where am I from, what kind of music inspires me, what am I listening to at the current time. There were all of these things that we were doing, and just communicating. And this was all done throughout 3 years. And in the final year of that 3 year, we started speaking to a guy by the name of Anton.
Okay.
And he started helping me kind of figure out who I was, because like I said, there's so many experiences I've had in my life. It's hard to pinpoint who I am in one sentence. It's very difficult.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
And you've traveled around the world, gotten to learn different cultures and trying to discover who you are and having to get to where you are right now.
Exactly. So going into that, going into that, Bloodlyne came in. So you know what? Bloodlyne is the one. Bloodlyne is who you need to be. I went through your whole story, and I feel Bloodlyne is the name you should take. Because Bloodlyne was he gave me like 5-6 different names, and I chose Bloodlyne. That's how Bloodlyne was formed. And then I ended up defining who Bloodlyne was. And Bloodlyne is all about culture, heritage, history, because the music didn't start with me, and it's not going to end. It'll never end with me.
Absolutely.
It's keeping that legacy going from my forefathers. My father passing down that inheritance, knowledge, and passion onto me. I'm going to pass it on to my children, and they're going to pass it on to their children. That's how Bloodlyne came to be. Someone, and I also took on the philosophy of Ubuntu. Embracing people from all walks of life. In that sense, I know a lot of people look at it and define Ubuntu in different ways, but that's what I wanted to do with that, and through music. So we ended up going into Mother Tongue. So Mother Tongue was our first record. So Mother Tongue.
I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited because I have questions on that one. Andy.
So Mother Tongue didn't originally sound the way it sounds now.
What? Can we hear the raw Mother Tongue?
I'm gonna put that up. I'm gonna post it up for a video soon on Instagram.
Yes, please. Yes.
I'll put that up real soon for y'all to see where the inspiration kind of came from. But yeah, Mother Tongue was all about language, traveling, and it's really a love story if you go deeper into it. And I chose it as a love story because I met my wife at university in Malaysia, and she's Indonesian. So that's where that thing, my mother tongue, goes deep, because I know who I am and you know who you are, and we came together to be one. So different mother tongues coming together. Yeah,
Hey,
so
people with crazy minds. Me, I was getting questions, my guy. Me, I was getting questions, my guy. That's why I was getting excited. I'm like, I want to understand. Kuti mother tongue, what do you mean? Because I have somebody who was saying, Amanda, and with actions. She goes, my mother tongue. I'm like, stop it. I am actually going to ask Jonah and hear it for ourselves. Like, people are crazy.
I had a lot of people asking me, like,
I know.
that line, my mother tongue goes deep.
I know.
No, it's in my heritage goes deep, and it's my mother tongue, my identity, who I am, because wherever you go, you carry who you are. When you go to a different country, when you assimilate into a new geographical area, like, whether it be you're in France, Germany, Indonesia, South Africa, New Zealand, America, you take your heritage with you, you take your identity with you, and the first thing people are going to ask you is, who are you, where are you from, and what language do you speak? Those are usually the first three things that people ask you. So that's where the title came in, mother tongue. That's what inspired me to write this song because I wanted people to understand that this is a journey. It's a journey. Mother tongue is a creation of my journey as Bloodlyne. It's the beginning of that journey. So it only made sense to start with mother tongue because mother tongue is the first thing that you take. That's the one thing that you carry with you when you travel, whether you don't have your national dressing with you or not. People always want to hear some people will always want to hear your mother tongue. They want to hear how your language or your accent gives you away, so they know, oh, he's not from around here. What language does he speak? Where is he from? Mother tongue, your journey to become who you are, your heritage, who you are. I keep repeating that because people need to understand that you need to embrace your identity. And all this had to happen. It had to come from Jonah for life, to become Bloodlyne. I had to walk in each step to discover who I truly am, my identity. My identity.
That is so powerful, and I'm getting messages here, and it's very impressive. And we were so impressed to get to learn who Bloodlyne, or how you came about to call yourself Bloodlyne, and just that whole redefinition of your name and you embracing your culture, because it's not a lot of people who are able to embrace their culture, especially when they're out here, right? It's one of those, and check what are you saying? Like like be able to be out there and say, guys, I am good at 3 languages, and 2 of them, they're still from my country. You know what I mean? And it's so impressive. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed, and congratulations to that.
Yeah, and then where Ubuntu comes in is embracing different walks of life. And I embrace Indonesia, I embrace Malaysia, I embrace other people from countries, and I learned the language. And now Indonesia, is part of who I am. My daughter is half Indonesian, and I'm teaching her about my culture, and she also learns about her culture.
Right?
So it's all part of that. That's why mother tongue was so important at this stage, because it built onto many things. I love to sing about a lot of things. I love to sing about love, life, our daily lives, things that go on, our health and all these things, because I don't know how to say it. Like I have a lot of stories I want to tell, from the past, present, and the future.
So do you mind writing a book, please?
Writing a book.
Exclusive right here on After 5 Radio, huh? Come on now. Well, please.
I don't know. I don't know. It's something I have been thinking about, but I wouldn't really know how to write books, but not in the way you're thinking of right now. Mostly 3 books of songs and stories and my innermost, deepest thoughts, aspirations, and dreams.
Just do it.
So, yeah, I write every day, so I guess that's part of my story. And when the time comes, I'll publish all those books, and you can kind of see what was going on in my life, in my mind. I was writing stuff, and I'll put it in a way where people can understand it, rather than it just being that you're looking at it and reading and like, okay, where's this taking me? I don't understand.
Right.
Because my mind is crazy. I'm filled with a lot of ideas. There are a lot of things I wanna show the world with music, and visually and musically. Visually, I think it's probably gonna come a little later, but trust me when I tell you that you have no idea what's coming.
Oh, I have an idea. People do not have an idea. Other people out there have no idea who I'm talking to right now. They have no clue who I'm talking to right now. And that being said, my very last question, since we're running out of time, is where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Any collaborations that we should look forward to? And because I've seen a whole lot of your collaborations already, in the past. So is there anything that we should look forward to in terms of collaborations internationally or in Indonesia? Or what should we expect from Bloodlyne?
Well, you know what? I'm going to let God guide me on that one, because I don't really know who I want to, there are a lot of people I want to work with, but I'm going to let God guide that one and put the right people that want me to work with in the near future. Because sometimes in life there might be people you want to work with, but maybe they're not necessarily the ones that you should be doing a song or collaborating on a certain project with for that specific piece.
Absolutely.
So I always let God now guide my steps, because when I used to do it on my own, things didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So when I understood that God is the one who guides our steps, and He's the storyteller of our lives. Now I'm letting Him write my story as He guides me through. I walk, I do what I need to do to make sure that story stays in place, but God guides my steps in the process, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it does. It does, because as far as I'm concerned, the word. Now, here comes the, let me wear my preaching hat here for a second. Here comes the word where it says, seek ye first His kingdom, and everything shall fall into place, right? Because sometimes, tell God your plans. He will laugh and you'll be like, okay, now let me show the plans that I have set for you, right? Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future that He has planned, not that we have planned. And you having to say, okay, I am leaving this in God's hands. I know, best believe, guaranteed, everything that's going to come your way is going to be a bomb.
Amen to that, And, I already have 2 good collaborations on the way. And we're just sorting out the paperwork and things that, that go on behind the scenes of music before it's released. So that's coming. So, some people might, shock some people, but some great music is coming.
Right.
There's a lot of great artists. I want people, trust me. I got some EPs coming as well. I've been working real hard this year. COVID kind of slowed us down, but it didn't slow down the work. It didn't slow down the creativity. I stayed motivated, and I was in the game, and I'm still in the game till now. I've been in this game for more than 15 years. Stopped, and I just want to encourage all the youngsters who are starting out right now, like, just don't stop. Stay focused, whether you're in the limelight or whether you're not in the limelight. Focus, work on your craft, keep going. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Thank you.
And at the same time, treat it as a marathon, treat it as a journey. Stop focusing on the finishing line and enjoy the sightseeing. Embrace, immerse yourself into the journey. That way you appreciate it once you reach your finishing line. And after you reach your finishing line, aim towards another finishing line. Do not stop. Keep going. Leave something behind for people to be inspired by.
Geez, wise words from yours truly, Bloodlyne, who still believes in his roots, considering that he's traveled all around the world and having to learn different cultures. But the fact that he still remembers his roots, I am impressed, yo. I am impressed.
Yes.
That is so awesome. So just to end our discussion, thank you so much, Bloodlyne, aka Jonas Tole. Those who do not know his birth name, do you mind letting the listeners know where they can follow you, your social handles on Instagram, Facebook, streaming platforms where your music is, where they can listen to your music?
All right, so you can find me on Apple Music, Bloodlyne, and Spotify, Bloodlyne, YouTube, Bloodlyne, and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at I Am Bloodlyne, as well as SoundCloud at I Am Bloodlyne.
Right. And for those who are actually looking for line, Anna, Line, it's Lyne.
Ly.
I thought I should put it out there. Thank you so much, Jonah. It was such an honor and a pleasure to have you here on After 5 Radio.
Thank you so much for hosting me, for having me here. I'm really grateful. God bless.
God bless you too. And we look forward to more of your music, and we will definitely debut here. Oh, actually, can I ask you for a favor? Can we debut here on After 5 Radio? Think over the first ones. Kungorova pan.
Wait, say that again. You want me to what?
Sorry, as in when your music comes out, can we be the first ones to play it here, please?
Hey, I can't promise you that, but I'll definitely make sure I put in the stops to make sure that you guys are the first ones to play it.
Oh, please.
Since you asked.
I will ncenga every day, my guy.
I'll make sure you are the first one.
Yes, hallelujah. I can also sweet talk. You
and me go way back.
I know. No, this is so amazing, and it was so lovely to catch up. Even the other time when I was like, oh my gosh, dude, you're so grown. We need to talk and we need to have an interview. It was so lovely catching up after so many years.
I'm so grateful. Yeah, it's really refreshing, just to know that we're all pursuing our dreams. We're living them. We haven't stopped.
I know.
We're not discouraged. We keep going.
Right.
And that's really important. Even when there is discouragement, we don't let it stop us from fulfilling our dreams.
Oh, absolutely. And we actually had lots of comments coming in here. We have one of our hosts here on After 5 Radio who are saying the guy has been around the world. Ish, and they're bringing my sister so good. If you ask, you don't get. Yeah, if you ask, you don't get. If you ask, you don't get. Actually, I would try it.
I agree. Ask you don't get.
Yeah, if you ask, you don't get. This from Janice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you don't ask, you don't know.
There you go. Exactly. If you don't ask, you don't know. And it'll always be a no if you don't ask.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And thank you so much, Janice, for tuning in. I even see here KDV just tuned in as well. One of our hosts here, Kudzi, the voice. Everybody's listening in. Even Anderson here. Oh my gosh, interview with Bloodlyne. What's that?
Shout out to all you guys at After 5 Radio. I really appreciate the love.
Thank you. We love you. Even Pentagangwati guys, we got Jonah. And he was like, what? We're so excited. Yeah. And it was so lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much.
No. Mukunzwa guys, this guy can actually still speak Shona, okay?
Of course.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Nice.
This is so much love from me. This is me showing you love right here, bruh. Yeah.
I appreciate that. And in Bahasa Indonesia, we say terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much.
Okay, Anzi, terima what? Can I say it?
Okay, I'm just saying it really fast. My bad.
Okay.
It's terima kasih banyak, which means thank you very much, or terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak.
Yeah, banyak. Okay. But if you say it fast, it sounds like terima kasih banyak.
Yo, this is so amazing. This is Jonah. Thank you so much, bruh. And all right, so till next time, we're definitely going to have you back once you have your new music, and we'll actually have you to come and introduce it here on After 5 Radio and to explain the music, to come and tell us what inspired your writing for the new music that's coming up.
All right,
thank you. So that was Bloodlyne for you. You heard it for yourselves. His journey from childhood up until now, redefining himself as Bloodlyne, and the reason for having to write mother tongue, what it means. And for those who are just joining us and who do not know who Jonah is and what we're talking about, and then like a summary here on After 5 Radio with yours truly.
Shout out to Kaz, aka Mr. Boomslang.
Yes, Kaz. Mr. Boomslang is always here, yo.
Yeah, Kaz Khalif, I love you, man. You're also one of my day ones. He also ushered me into the music game as well. He also put in the effort, the work, to also help me become Bloodlyne as well throughout the years since I was in high school. So big shout out to him.
Wow, that is so amazing. Okay, Kaz, I hope he's tuned in. I hope so too. But if he hasn't, I'm sure he'll hear that. I'm sure he'll listen back later. Oh, absolutely, because this interview is actually recorded. So
awesome.
Okay. Alrighty. So take care, brother.
Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, you too. Bye now. God bless.